kids! Everything they teach you in school is a lie!
Hello all, and let me ask you a question. When you think of the hit kids show Gravity Falls, did you ever expect that the creator, Alex Hirsch, would go on to make a similarly styled show, but much more adult? If you answered yes, then you're correct. The show is called Inside Job, and it is very entertaining. Taking place in Washington, D.C., it follows a group of 6 main characters that work for the deep state called Cognito Inc. In this show, all the secret societies exist, including the Illuminati, Reptoids, and even Atlanteans. But as you go deeper, you realize that there's something behind the scenes that controls these secret societies. It's another secret society. This society is called the Black Robes, and they are presented to be the highest level of secret society in the show. The purpose of the Black Robes is to run humanity in the background, and have been doing it for millennia, as they believe that if humanity ran itself, it would crumble. This show, as it is made by the same creator, shares quite a few characteristics to Gravity Falls. The intro has the same feel that Gravity Falls gives off, and even a lot of the characters feel like you can plop them into either world. Now, of course, these shows are extremely different, especially in their target audiences, but I think there are more connections than we think. It was thought that Inside Job would have no connections to the previous Gravity Falls, and while I don't think that these shows will ever merge in any form of the word, there are a lot of things that occur to make a very strong connection between these shows. There are a few things that we need to mention about Inside Job to be able to completely make these connections, so of course, big spoilers up ahead. First, we need to look at Season 1, Episode 5. In this episode, the main crew is told by their boss to go and erase the minds of an entire town. This town of Still Valley, Wyoming, was the location for a mind-erasing chemical test back in the 1980s. Cognito Inc. then kept erasing their memory, and doing so, locked this town forever in the 80s, and now use it to throw away all of their unsafe and recalled products. Now, let's jump all the way to Season 2, Episode 3, which is the season finale. In this episode, the main character, Reagan Ridley, is dragged down to the Black Robes' main lair and is offered to join their ranks. To show that they are serious, the Black Robes begin presenting much of their secret information to Reagan that not even she knows about. Towards the end of their pitch, they mention how they could all control the world together, and for dramatic effect, they show the map of the world. This map is quite interesting. If we take a close look, we can see a whole bunch of markers and symbols in very specific locations. The biggest symbols that are present here are a serpent symbol, a pyramid symbol, a trident symbol, an eye symbol, a symbol with 3 circles, and one that is shaped like 2 phases of the moon. While it would seem that this map is meaningless or impossible to figure out, we can actually understand exactly what this map means. To do so, we have to go back a few episodes to Season 2, Episode 1. In this episode, the crew travels to Bohemian Grove in Northern California for an annual power struggle, which is a competition between the 6 societies that secretly rule the world. Who are the 6 societies, you may ask? Well, let Rand Ridley tell you.
Every year, it brings together the 6 societies that secretly rule the world. The Reptoids, the Atlanteans, the Catholic Church, the Juggalos, for some reason, us, and of course our arch rivals, the Illuminati.
These are 6 main secret societies that are all run by the Black Robes, as we can see members from many different societies competing to become a robe member back in Season 1. This is the majority of the information that we need to know for now. There are 6 secret societies that are each run by the Black Robes, and the Black Robes dedicate entire towns and locations for whatever they need them for, as we saw with Still Valley. If we take a look again at the big globe map, we can see 6 main symbols on the map. An eye for Cognito, a pyramid for the Illuminati, a trident for the Atlanteans, serpents for the Reptoids, the 3 Pokeballs are for the Catholic Church, representing the Holy Trinity of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and then there's a moon-shaped symbol to represent the Juggalos. We can see each area they run on this map. Cognito Inc. controls the Washington, D.C. area, as we can see throughout the show, and the Illuminati runs the California area, as we know with their control over the A-list celebrities like Oprah, Jay-Z, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. We can also see the Atlantean symbols in the ocean, which is their terrain. There's another thing about this image as well. Right here is a symbol directly above Wyoming, which we mentioned is the location for Still Valley, the town that's stuck in the 80s. So, if this map shows the locations that the Black Robes control and run, is there anything else that it could show that might be Important? Well, now we need to turn to the second topic of this video, which is Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls was a show created by Alex Hirsch for Disney Channel and Disney XD. This show centered in Oregon in a town called Gravity Falls. This town had many strange anomalies, starting around the time of a ship crash back in 30 million BCE. The anomalies tormented this town through numerous electrical disturbances, sick livestock, magnetic interferences, and even going as far as deadly creature invasions. Now, we mentioned that this town took place in Oregon, and a lot of these events seem very eye-catching, so maybe if the Black Robes and the rest of the secret societies were in this universe, they would be intrigued by something like this. Well, they are. If we look back at the map, there's a symbol directly above Oregon, which again is where Gravity Falls takes place. Not only that, but look at the size difference between the 80s town and Gravity Falls symbols. The only thing happening in 80s town is the brainwashing of the citizens. However, in Gravity Falls, there are a lot more anomalies and strange occurrences than have ever happened in Wyoming, which would make the size differences make sense. Gravity Falls is a much more important and chaotic place than 80s town will ever be. Now, we can't just say that because there was a map icon above Gravity Falls that it has to be involved with Inside Job. But again, if this was the only evidence we had, this wouldn't be a video. Luckily, we're not done yet. For the next big idea, we need to switch our view and look at Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is a show that follows two siblings that live with their grunkle in his gift shop. They encounter many strange situations as Grunkle Stan works on a portal in the basement. However, while doing so, he gains the attention of the authorities who arrest him. He's put in an interrogation room while he monitors the anomalies caused by his portal using his wristwatch. That's the main gist we need to understand of Gravity Falls for this video. The reason that Grunkle Stan is arrested is the alleged theft of government property, as we can see through the security cameras. This would make perfect sense for Grunkle Stan's arrest, as he committed a federal crime. But there is a big problem here. In the interrogation room, the main agent, played by the incredible Ron Swanson, says this.
All right, Pines. Playtime is over. Chopper's ready to dust off to Washington. I'll enjoy putting you away.
Why is he going to Washington? For those of you who aren't familiar with how the criminal justice system works in the United States, let me very quickly explain. Theft of government property, which is a federal offense in violation of Title 18, Section 641 of the United States Code. Federal offenses are tried in a federal court. The problem is, why is Grunkle Stan heading to Washington? There are multiple federal courts in Oregon for him to be tried at, but they're sending him to the capital where the Supreme Court is located. Federal crimes do not go straight to the Supreme Court, so again, why is he being sent to the capital? Well, what if he's not going to any court? If we take a look at Inside Job, it takes place in Washington, D.C., and directly under Washington, D.C. is the location of the Black Robes' lair. The Black Robes send people who have violated their plans to a special prison in the Black Site. They have done this multiple times in the show. Both people that took over the head position for Cognito Inc. were sent to the Black Site for violating and disrupting the authority of the Black Robes and their plans. Now, here's the thing. Gravity Falls ended on February 15th of 2016, but Inside Job wasn't released until October 22nd of 2021. Now, I'm not saying that back in 2012 to 2016, Alex Hirsch had the entire idea for Inside Job completely fleshed out with the Black Robes and everything. That is illogical and extremely unlikely. What I am saying, though, is that there was a seedling for an idea. We've seen this before with the connections between Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty. There would be no reason that Grunkle Stan would be heading to Washington for any other reason except to answer for his acts in front of a higher power that focuses on this type of activity, which eventually becomes the fully fledged Black Robes. So, we know that Gravity Falls is present on the map, and that Grunkle Stan was supposed to be tried in front of the Black Robes. But here's a question to ask. Did the Black Robes cause the events of Gravity Falls? This is probably the most difficult question that we've answered so far, but a very necessary one. In Gravity Falls, Grunkle Stan's brother, Ford, mentioned how the anomalies in Gravity Falls started around Crash Site Omega. In 30 million BCE, a race known as the pan-dimensional beings of Trilaz Beta crashed their ship into Gravity Falls. As the ship laid there, dormant, it created numerous electrical disturbances, sick livestock, and magnetic interferences. So this would be what causes the anomalies, correct? Ah, if only the answer was this simple. We need to go back to the question we just said. What is causing all of Gravity Falls' anomalies? Ford Pines said it himself. He is still unsure whether the ship crash caused the anomalies, or whether the presence of the phenomena is what drew the ship there. Now, it could be that the black robes are what drew the aliens to this planet, but there's no way that this could be true. In the Season 2 finale of Inside Job, the black robes mention how their society was started by early humans who wanted to make sure that their species wasn't wiped out. Early Homo sapiens began to develop around 300,000 years ago, so there is no way that the black robes could have been what drew the aliens. So the black robes couldn't have created Gravity Falls' anomalous nature, as they did with 80s Town. They were clearly attracted to it. We're slowly narrowing down what exactly is the black robes' involvement in Gravity Falls, but we're still not quite there yet. Just as Ford said, we are unsure whether the anomalies were caused by the crash or were drawn to the crash. However, I feel that with context clues, we can answer this. According to the Third Gravity Falls Journal, which are encyclopedias on the anomalous creatures and properties of Gravity Falls, the ship created numerous disturbances in the hamlet resting above, such as electrical disturbances, sick livestock, and magnetic interferences with vehicles. This does not compare to the intensity of the rest of the show. We see strange and terrifying creatures in almost every single episode. This is much more than these casual disturbances that the journal discusses. If we take this journal exactly as it presents itself, we can say that these huge anomalies were not caused by the spaceship either. So Gravity Falls would already have been anomalous by nature, and in a way, that answers our question. The black robes didn't create Gravity Falls, but are testing and analyzing it. It is being used as a test site. If this seems uncharacteristic for the black robes, it shouldn't. They conduct experiments all the time, from cloning, to the sheeple, to using an entire town to experiment on their mind-erasing chemicals, to what they did with Mike. The black robes experiment on various locations and items. So while Alex Hirsch may not have known how he was going to approach Washington back in Gravity Falls, over the years he expanded on this idea until he came out with the show Inside Job, where we see this direct connection between the black robes and the town of Gravity Falls, which we've concluded means that Gravity Falls is in fact a test site for the secret societies. Thank you all so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and if you have any concepts or ideas that you would like me to dive into in a video, be sure to comment it down below. If you enjoy my content and want to see more, make sure to subscribe, as it not only lets you know when I upload next, but also helps me make the videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.